All right, so we continue on text number 8.
Translation.
Yes.
She offered the remnant of the flesh to the king Ishwaku, who carried it to Vasistha for purifications. But Vasistha could immediately understand that part of the flesh had already been taken by Vikukshi, and therefore he said that it was unfit to be used in the Sraddha ceremony.
Very good. So Prabhupada said that in our temples, this regulation is in effect. One cannot eat food from the kitchen unless it is offered to the deity. If something is taken before being offered to the deity, the entire preparation is polluted and can no longer be offered. Those engaged in deity worship must know this very well so that they may be saved from committing offenses in deity worship. Text number 9. Number 9. Hare Krishna.
When King Ishwaku, thus informed by Vasishtha, understood what his son Vikukshi had done, he was extremely angry. Thus he ordered Vikukshi to leave the country because Vikukshi had violated the regulatory principles.
Very serious, severe consequences. All right, text 10.
By the great and learned Brahmana Vasishtha, who discoursed about the absolute truth, Maharaj Ishwaku became renounced. By following the principles for a yogi, he certainly achieved the supreme perfection after giving up his material body.
Okay. Next. The next verse, text 11.
I will read. After his father's disappearance, Vikukshi returned to the country and thus became the king, ruling the planet Earth and performing various sacrifices to satisfy the supreme personality of Godhead. Vikukshi later became celebrated as Shashada.
So the punishment purified him, so he returned back and became the king. Very good. 12 to 25, we will look at the descendant of Vikukshi, the son of Ishwaku, and the story of Puranjaya. Not Puranjana, but this is Puranjaya. All right, let's continue.
The son of Shashada was Puranjaya, who is also known as Indravaha and sometimes as Kukusta. Please hear from me how he received different names for different activities. Is the next person available to read?
Yes. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna. Formerly, there was a devastating war between the demigods and the demons. The demigods, having been defeated, accepted Puranjaya as their assistant and then conquered the demons. Therefore, this hero is known as Puranjaya, he who conquered the residents of the demons.
Great. Please, let's continue.
Text 14. Puranjaya agreed to kill all the demons on the condition that Indra would be his carrier. Because of pride, Indra could not accept this proposal, but later, by the order of the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, Indra did accept it and became a great bull carrier for Puranjaya.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, could you please start the recording? Because I'm having some problems in doing the recording. You are the host now, so you could please start the recording.
Recording pause.
You should see a button at the bottom which should say record.
I'm coming. I don't see it. I'm seeing it. Recording is paused. But let me see.
Recording in progress.
Yes, it has started.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so let's continue.
Text
15, 16. Yeah.
well protected by armor and desiring to fight, Puranjaya took up the transcendental bow and very sharp arrows, and while being highly prized by the demigods, he caught up on the back of the bull, Indra, and set on its hump. Thus he is known as Kukutra,
Kusta.
being empowered by Lord Vishnu, who is the super soul and the supreme person. Puranjaya sat on the great bull and is therefore known as Indravaha. Surrounded by the demigods, he attacked the residence of the demons in the west.
Very good.
Text 17.
Yeah.
There was a fierce battle between the demons and Puranjaya. Indeed, it was so fierce that when one hears about it once, hairs stand on the earth. All the demons bold enough to come before Puranjaya were immediately sent to the residence of Yamaraja by his arrows.
Very good. Text 18.
Text paragraph. Translation text 18. To save themselves from the blazing arrows of Indravaha, which resembled the flames of devastation at the end of the millennium, the demons who remained when the rest of their army was killed fled very quickly to their respective homes.
Please continue. Let's go.
Text 19.
Yeah.
After conquering the enemy, the saintly king Puranjaya gave everything, including the enemy's riches and wives, to Indra, who carries a thunderbolt. For this, he is celebrated as Puranjaya. Thus, Puranjaya is known by different names because of his different activities. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so how many names he has? How many names? How many
The
names?
son of Puranjaya was known as Anena. Anena's son was Prithu, and
My
Prithu's
question
son
was how many names he has?
Yes, Maharaj, we read that he is known as Kakutsatha, Puranjaya, and then Indra, and now we came to know about this name as Indravaha also.
So how many names?
4, Maharaj, I think.
No,
if I'm
3.
not wrong, I
Yeah.
might be wrong.
That's 3 names, yeah. There are 3 names. Okay, he has 3 names, and each of the names are due to his activities. Very good. Okay. Now you can read 20.
The son of Puranjaya was known as Anena. Anena's son was Prithu, and Prithu's son was Vishwagandhi. Vishwagandhi's son was Chandra, and Chandra's son was Yuvanasva.
Okay. Next, let's go. Let's continue. It's only, it's only names and names are here. Let's go. Who should read next? 21.
Radhamurti is there.
The son of Yuvanashva was Shravas, who constructed a township known as Sharavasti Puri. The son of Sharavas was Brihadashva, and his son was Kuvalyashva. In this way, the dynasty increased.
Okay.
Text 22. To satisfy the stage, Utkant, the greatly powerful Kuvalasva, killed a demon named Dudundu. He did this with the assistance of his 21,000 sons.
21,000 sons. Okay.
Text 23-24. O Maharaj Parikshit, for this reason, Kuvalasva is celebrated as Dhundumar, the killer of Dhundu. All but 3 of his sons, however, were burned to ashes by the fire emanating from Dhundu's mouth. The remaining sons were Drishva, Kapilashva, and Bhadrashva. From Drishva comes a
Dridashva.
son named Haryashva, whose son is celebrated as Nikumbha.
All right.
That's my understand the purpose. Would you like to read?
Yes. The son of Nikumbha was Bahulaswa, the son of Bahulaswa was Krisaswa, the son of Krisaswa was Senajit, and the son of Senajit was Yuvanaswa. Yuvanaswa had no son, and thus he retired from family life and went to the forest. Although Yuvanaswa went into the forest with his 100 wives, all of them were very morose. The sages in the forest, however, being very kind to the king, began very carefully attentively performing an Indra Yagya so that the king might have a son. But one may enter the Vanaprastha order of life with his wife, but order means complete retirement from household life. Although King Yuvanaswa retired from family life, he and his wife were always morose because he had no son.
Very good. 26 to
Being thirsty
30.
one night, the king entered the arena of sacrifice, and when he saw all the Brahmanas lying down, he personally drank the sanctified water meant to be drunk by his wife. Purport. Yagyas performed by Brahmanas according to Vedic ritualistic ceremonies are so potent that the sanctifying of water by Vedic mantras can bring about the desired result. In this instance, the Brahmanas sanctified the water so that the king's wife might drink it in the yagya. But by providence, the king himself went there at night and being thirsty drank the water.
Providence. Yeah. Next, 28.
Text 28. When the Brahmanas got up from bed and saw the water pot empty, they inquired who had done this work of drinking the water meant for begetting a child. Text 29. When the Brahmanas came to understand that the king, inspired by the supreme controller, had drunk the water, they all exclaimed, "Alas, the power of providence is real power. No one can counteract the power of the Supreme." In this way, they offered their respectful obeisances unto the Lord. Text 30. Thereafter, in due course of time, a son with all the good symptoms of a powerful king came forth from the lower right side of King Yavanashva's abdomen.
The baby cried so much for breast milk that all the Brahmanas were very unhappy. Who will take care of this baby? They said. Then Indra, who was worshipped in that yajna, came and solaced the baby. "Do not cry," Indra said. Then Indra put his index finger in the baby's mouth and said, "You may drink me." Text 32. Because Yuvanasva, the father of the baby, was blessed by the Brahmanas, he did not fall a victim to death. After this incident, he performed severe austerities and achieved perfection in that very spot. Text 33-34. Mandata, the son of Yuvanasva, was the cause of fear for Ravana and other thieves and rogues who caused anxiety. O King Parikshit, because they feared him, the son of Yuvanasva was known as Prasad-Dasyu. This name was given by King Indra. By the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the son of Yuvanasva was so powerful that when he became emperor, he ruled the entire world, consisting of 7 islands without any second ruler.
Yadhiraj Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yeah. 35, 36.
The Supreme Personality Godhead is not different from the auspicious aspect of great sacrifices, such as the ingredients of the sacrifice, the chanting of the Vedic hymns, the regulative principle, the performer, the priest, the result of sacrifice, the arena of sacrifice, and the time of sacrifice. Knowing the principle of self-realization, Mandata worship that transcendentally situated Supreme Soul, the Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord Vishnu, who comprises all the demigods. He also gave immense charity to the Brahmanas, and thus he performed yajna to worship the Lord.
Okay. Next.
Text 37. All places from where the sun rises on the horizon, shiny brilliantly to where the sun sets, are known as the possession of the celebrated Mandata, the son of Yuvanaswa.
Yes.
38. Mandhada begot 3 sons in the womb of Bindumati, the daughter of Shashabindu. These sons were Purukutsa, Ambarisha, and Muchukunda, a great mystic yogi. These 3 brothers had 50 sisters, who all accepted the great sage Saubhari as their husband. 39-40. Saubhari Rishi was engaged in austerity deep in the water of the river Yamuna when he saw a pair of fish engaged in sexual affairs. Thus he perceived the pleasure of sex life, and induced by this desire, he went to King Mandhada and begged for one of the king's daughters. In response to this request, the king said, "O Brahmana, any of my daughters may accept any husband according to her personal selection." Should I read the purport, Maharaj?
Yes.
Purport. This is the beginning of the story of Saubhari Rishi. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, Mandhada was a king of Mathura, and Saubhari Rishi was engaged in austerity while submerged deep within the river Yamuna. When the Rishi felt sexual desire, he emerged from the water and went to King Mandhada to ask that one of the king's daughters become his wife.
Yes. He offended. We are familiar with the story. Have you been to this place, Saubhari, where he's doing is then Vrindavan, where he did austerity? Now the Jamuna is not there, but you can see some water around there. Have you been there? Anyone has been there to this place? None of you? Okay. So you come, I will take
I went, but don't remember the exact place.
I forgot the name of this place. But anyway, if you come, I will take you there. I've been taking devotees there many times. So when you come, I will take you there to this place so you can see the place is still there. Where we were doing austerity. And Garuda came there to take the fish. He was offensive to Garuda. That's the cause of his fall down. The cause of his fall down is offensive to Garuda. Garuda came and took the fish. They complained to Subharimuni that Garuda is coming to disturb them. So he promised that, okay, he will give them shelter. But before you know, Garuda has taken their king. They were very disturbed. So Subharimuni said, with all my strength, I curse you. Garuda is a carrier of Lord Vishnu. He's not the ordinary person. And Garuda is, he has different expansions. Garuda exists in 4 places. Garuda exists in 4 places. He is Garuda. In Goloka, he is Sudama, the Gopa. In Vaikuntha, he is Garuda. In the heavenly planet, he is Garuda. And in Vrindavan here is also Garuda. So in four places he exists. So to curse him is very dangerous, very dangerous. And he's
Maharaj,
yes. Go ahead.
can you repeat the first place? I got the first place. In Goloka, he is Sudama Gopa.
Yes.
In Vaikuntha, he is Garuda.
Yes. In the heavenly planet, he's also Garuda. Among the demigods, he's Garuda also. On the 8th planet here, he's Garuda. Yes, Garuda.
Thank you.
Yes. 4 expansions. Four person in one. So it is risky for us to do that. But because he's just a Muni, he did not know the strength of it. So he cursed him. Because of that, he fell down. He had been in the water there for a long time. So he didn't have this problem. He had been seeing fishes every time. But Krishna brought the 2 fishes before his face. And then he saw them mating. So he became agitated. He couldn't control. He left the meditation and came out. So he came to meet the Mandata Maharaj. So Mandata Maharaj, he had been in the water for a long time. So you can imagine his body is very rough, not attractive. That's the one thing. Second thing, Mandata was thinking, oh, such an unfortunate person. Such unfortunate. Why unfortunate? But one who take a vow and break it is not respected. To take sannyas and give it up is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. It's a bad example. So he should be killed. He should die. So Mandana Muni saw him, he saw him, he saw this is an unfortunate person. And look, you are unfortunate, and look at your body. So Kuchima will be attracted to you. Because you don't want to offend him. You say, yeah, go on, I know my daughter, who is interested, take her. He knows nobody's going to be here. Nobody is interested. So the Muni thought, okay, this man, he want to play on me. Okay, let me show him also. I'm still a Muni. So he went back. He didn't go to the daughter. He went back, and what is the remaining power in him, he's changed himself into a young, handsome man. As soon as he came before the girl, me, it is me. No, not you. I'm fair, I'm serious. No, it is me. They were fighting for her. In this way, he married the whole 50 daughters. That's the history. Let's continue. 42.
41, 42. Saubhari Muni thought, I am now feeble because of old age. My hair has become grey, my skin is slack, and my head always trembles. But I am a yogi. Therefore, you women do not like me. Since the king has thus rejected me, I shall reform my body in such a way as to be a desirable even to celestial women. What to speak of the daughter of a wealthy king?
All right.
Thereafter, when Saubhari Muni became quite a young and beautiful person, the messenger of the palace took him inside and the residential quarters of the princess, which were extremely opulent. All 50 princes then accepted him as their husband, although he was only one man. 44 translation. Thereafter, the princes, being attracted by Saubhari Muni, give up their sisterly relationship and quarrels among themselves, each one of them contacting. This man is just suitable for me and not for you.
Hari Bol.
A great disagreement.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
Text 45 to 46. Because Saubhari Muni was expert in chanting mantras perfectly, his severe austerities resulted in an opulent home with garments ornaments, properly dressed and decorated maidservants and manservants, and varieties of parks with clear water, lakes, and gardens. In the gardens, fragrant and varieties of flowers, birds chirped, and bees hummed, surrounded by professional singers. Saubhari Muni's home was amply provided with valuable beds, seats, ornaments, and arrangements for bathing, and there were varieties of sandalwood creams, flower garlands, and palatable dishes. Thus, surrounded by opulent paraphernalia, the Muni engaged in family affairs with the numerous wives. Shall I read the purport, Maharaj?
Only some parts. As material opulence, start from there. As material opulence can be achieved.
As material opulence can be achieved by ordinary material means, it can also be achieved by subtle means through mantras. By chanting mantras, Saubhari Muni arranged for material opulence, but this was not perfection in life.
Yes.
As will be seen, Saubhari Muni became very dissatisfied with material opulence and thus left everything and re-entered the forest in the Vanaprastha order and achieved final success. Those who are not Atma Tattvavid, who do not know the spiritual value of life, can be satisfied with external material opulence, but those who are Atma Tattvavid are not inspired by material opulence. This is the instruction we can derive from the life of the activities of Saubhari Muni.
So we learn the lesson. So we learn the lesson from here, Saubhari Muni. All right, thank you. 47.
Text 47. Manthada, the king of the entire world, consisting of 7 islands, was struck with wonder when he saw the household opulence of Saubhari Muni. Thus he gave up his false prestige in his position as emperor of the world. Everyone is proud of his own position, but here was an astounding experience in which the emperor of the entire world felt himself defeated in all details of material happiness by the opulence of Saubhari Muni. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. 48.
Text number 48, translation. In this way, Saubhari Muni enjoyed some gratification in the material world, but he was not at all satisfied. Just as a fire never ceases blazing, constantly supplied with drops of fat. Purport: material desire is just like a blazing fire. If a fire is continually supplied with drops of fat, the fire will increase more and more and never be extinguished. Therefore, the policy of trying to satisfy material desires by catering to one's material demands will never be successful. In modern civilization, everyone is engaged in economic development, which is another way of constantly dropping fat into the material fire. The Western countries have reached the summit of material civilization, but people are still dissatisfied. Real satisfaction is Krishna consciousness. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, where Krishna says, Bhoktaram iti tapasam, sarvaloka maheshwaram, sukridam sarvabhutanam, jnatva mam shantim rachati. The sages who knows me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. One must therefore take to Krishna consciousness and advance in Krishna consciousness by properly following the regulative principles. Then one can attain an eternal blissful life in peace and knowledge.
Haribol. 49.
Yes. Therefore, one day, while Saubhari Muni, who was expert in chanting mantras, was sitting in a secluded place, he thought to himself about the cause of his fall down, which was simply that he had associated himself with the sexual affairs of the fish. Purport: Vishnu Chakravarti Thakura remarks that Saubhari Muni had fallen from his austerity because of a Vaishnava aparadha. The history is that when Garuda wanted to eat fish, Saubhari Muni unnecessarily gave the fish shelter under his care. Because Garuda's plans for eating were disappointed, Saubhari Muni certainly committed a great offense to a Vaishnava. Because of this Vaishnava aparadha, an offense at the lordship of the Vaishnava, Saubhari Muni fell from his exalted position of mystic tapasya One should not, therefore, impede the activities of a Vaishnava. This is the lesson we must learn from this incident concerning Saubhari Muni. Hare Krishna.
Very good. 50 to 55, Saubhari Muni's lamentation and his renunciation. 5 verses, 6 verses. Yes, 50.
Yes, Maharaj. Alas, while practicing austerity, even within the depths of the water, and while observing all the rules and regulations practiced by saintly persons, I lost the results of my long austerity simply by association with the sexual affairs of fish. Everyone should observe this fall down and learn from it.
Very good. So what we learn from here? What lesson we should learn?
That we should not offend a Vaishnava.
Very good. We should not offend Vaishnavas. What else? Very good. Very good. What else?
Associate with materialist people.
Okay. Okay. Everywhere in the material world, wherever it is full of danger. If you're in the air, in the water, everywhere it is full of danger. We should always be sheltered by Krishna and Krishna's pure devotees. That is only security in this world. Without this, there is no security. Very good. 51.
Yes, Maharaj. A person desiring liberation from material bondage must give up the association of persons interested in sex life and should not employ his senses externally in seeing, hearing, talking, walking, and so on. One should always stay in a secluded place, completely fixing his mind at the lotus feet of the unlimited personality of God. And if one wants any association at all, he should associate with persons similarly engaged. Should I go with the purport, Maharaj?
Yes, second paragraph.
Second paragraph.
One who desires.
One who desires, yes, ma'am. One who desires complete freedom from material bondage can engage himself in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. He must not associate with Vishay.
Yes.
Materialistic persons are those interested in sex life. Every materialist is interested in sex. Thus, in plain language, it is advised that an exalted saintly person avoid the association of those who are materially inclined. Sri Narottam Das Thakur also recommends that one engage in the service of the acharyas. And if one wants to live in association, he must live in the association of the ones. Tade Charan Shivi Bhakti Shanibas. The Krishna consciousness movement is creating many centers just to create devotees, so that by associating with the members of such a center, people will automatically become uninterested in material affairs. Although this is an ambitious proposal, this association is proving effective by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By gradually associating with the members of the Krishna consciousness movement, simply by taking prasadam and taking part in chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, ordinary persons are being considerably elevated. Saubhari Muni regrets that he had bad association, even in the deepest part of the water. Because of the bad association of the sexually engaged fish, he fell down. A secluded place is also not secure unless there is good association.
Very good. So we need good association. 52.
Yes, Maharaj. In the beginning, I was alone and engaged in performing the austerities of mystic yoga. But later, because of the association of fish engaged in sex, I decided to marry. Then I became the husband of 50 wives, and each of them I begot 100 sons. And thus my family increased to 5,000. By the influence of material nature, I became fallen and thought that I would be happy in material life. Thus, there is no end to my material desires for enjoyment in this life and the next.
Very good.
In this way, he passed his life in household affairs for some time, but when he became detached from material enjoyment. To renounce material association, he accepted the Vanaprastha order and went to the forest. His devoted wives followed him, but they had no shelter other than their husbands.
Divyashi Masti, please continue.
When Saubhari Muni, who was quite conversant with the self, went to the forest, he performed severe penances. In this way, in the fire at the time of death, he ultimately engaged himself in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At the time of death, fire burns the gross body, and if there is no more desire for material enjoyment, the subtle body is also ended. And in this way, a pure soul remains. This is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Tektva Deham Punarjanma Neti. If one is free from the bondage of both the gross and subtle material bodies, and remains a pure soul, he returns home back to Godhead, to be engaged in the service of the Lord. Tektva Deham Punarjanma Neti Maneti. He goes back home, back to Godhead. Thus, it appears that Saubhari Muni attained that perfect stage.
Back home, back to Godhead. Yeah, last place.
655. O Maharaja Parikshit, by observing their husbands progressing in spiritual existence, Saubhari Muni's wives were also able to enter the spiritual world by his spiritual power, just as flames of fire cease when fire is extinguished.
Very good.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 9.32, Striyo Vaishyas Tata Shudras Te Piyanti Paramgati. Women are not considered very proper in following spiritual principles. But if a woman is fortunate enough to get a suitable husband who is spiritually advanced, and if she always engages in his service, she also gets the same benefit as her husband. Here it is clearly said that the wives of Saubhari Muni also entered the spiritual world by the influence of their husband. They were unfit, but because they were faithful followers of their husband, they also entered the spiritual world with him. Thus, a woman should be faithful servant of her husband, and if the husband is spiritually advanced, the woman will automatically get the opportunity to enter the spiritual world.
Haribo, back to Godhead.
Title: The Downfall of Saubhari.
Haribo. Okay, we'll go enter chapter 7. Chapter 7, the descendant of King Mandata. 1 to 6, descendant of Ambarish and Purukutsa, the sons of Mandata. Text 1.
Jai Govinda Prabhu, would you like to read?
Yes, Mother. Shukadeva Goswami said, the most prominent among the sons of Mandata was he who is celebrated as Ambarisha. Ambarisha was accepted as son of his grandfather Yuvanashva. Ambarisha's son was Yuvanashva, and Yuvanashva's son was Harita. In Mandata dynasty, Ambarisha, Harita, and Yuvanashva were very prominent.
Yes.
Thank you. The serpent brothers of Narmada gave Narmada to Purukutta. Being sent by Vasuki, she took Purukutta to the lower regions of the universe.
Okay.
Before describing the descendants of Purukutta, the son of Mandata, Shukadeva Goswami first describes how Purukutta was married to Narmada, who was induced to take him to the lower region of the universe.
Bhakti Priya Devi.
This one, I have a question on verse number 1. It says, Ambarisha was accepted as a son by his grandfather Yuvanashva. Ambarisha's son was Yuvanashva, and Yuvanashva's son was Harita. So here, the grandfather's name is Yuvanashva, and Ambarisha's son is also Yuvanashva. I'm a little confused.
Yavanashva.
Okay.
Yes.
What does it mean by Ambarisha was accepted as son by his grandfather Yuvanashva?
Any comment? Any comment?
Does it mean Yunashra adopted Ambarisha as his son? Is that's what it means?
Yeah, I'll feel like that. Maharaj?
Yes, I'm hearing.
Grandfather, accepted Ambarisha as his son. Is that what is condition, Maharaj?
Yes. Yes. All right, next verse.
Yeah. Very technical.
Jai Jagdish Prabhu, would you like to continue?
Yes, ma'am. Text number 3. There in Rasatala, the rural region of the universe, Purukutsa, being empowered by Lord Vishnu, was able to kill all the Gandharvas who deserved to be killed. Purukutsa received the benediction from the serpent that anyone who remembers this history of his being brought by Narmada to the lower region of the universe will be assured of safety from the attack of snakes.
All right.
Text number 4. The son of Purukutsa was Trasadashu, who was the father of Anaranya. Anaranya's son was Haryashva, the father of Pururana. The Pururana was the father of Tribandana. Text 5 and 6. The son of Tribandana was Satyavrata, who is celebrated by the name Trishanku. Because he kidnapped the daughter of a Brahmana when she was being married, his father cursed him to become a Chandala, lower than a Shudra. Thereafter, by the influence of Vishwamitra, he went to the higher planetary system, the heavenly planet, in this material body. But because of the prowess of the demigods, he fell back downwards. Nonetheless, by the power of Vishwamitra, he did not fall all the way down. Even today, he can still be seen hanging in the sky, head downward.
You know the pastime in the in the Ramayana. His full story there in Ramayana. That is suffering. Headlong is not life, is suffering. So how many years have been there like that? He's hanging headlong. Is that enjoyment? So how many years is hanging there? Like Bishamita Muni. Power. It's punishment. All right, text 7.
Text 7. The son of Trishanku was Harishchandra. Because of Harishchandra, there was a quarrel between Vishwamitra and Vasishtha, who for many years fought one another, having been transformed into birds. Shall I read the purpose?
The purpose is okay. Yeah, read.
Vishwamitra and Vasishtha were always inimical. Formerly, Vishwamitra was a Kshatriya, and by undergoing severe austerities, he wanted to become a Brahmana, but Vasishtha would not agree to accept him. In this way, there was always disagreement between the two. Later, however, Vasishtha accepted him because of Vishwamitra's quality of forgiveness. Once Harishchandra performed a yajna for which Vishwamitra was the priest. But Vishwamitra, being angry at Harishchandra, took away all his possessions, claiming them as a contribution of Dakshina. Vasishtha, however, did not like this, and therefore a fight arose between Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. The fight became so severe that each of them cursed the other. One of them said, "May you become a bird," and the other said, "May you become a duck." Thus, both of them became birds and continued fighting for many years because of Harishchandra. We can see that such a great mystic yogi as Saubhari became a victim of self-gratification, and such great sages as Vasishtha and Vishwamitra became birds. This is the material world. Abrahmabona loka punaravitino Arjuna. Within this material world, or within this universe, however elevated one may be in material qualities, one must suffer the conditions of birth, death, old age, and disease. Janma mrityu radyati. Therefore, Krishna says that this material world is simply miserable, Sukhalyam Ashashvatam. The Bhagavatam says, Padam Padam Yasripadam. At every step here, there is danger. Therefore, because the Krishna consciousness movement provides the opportunity for the human being to get out of this material material world simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. This movement is the greatest benediction in human society.
So here we see these great personalities are fighting and quarreling, cursing each other. They are not necessarily devotees. We mentioned before that mystic power is inferior to spiritual power. You don't see Narada Muni, Sukadev Goswami cursing each other and and quarreling when they say, or the six Goswamis fighting each other. We don't see that. Even when Jiva Goswami was chastised, he accepted everything 100%, no argument. That is different between pure devotees and the mystic yogis. Yeah. The sister Muni, Vishwamitra Muni. Great. Vishwamitra Muni is such a great person that usually it take many births to change one varna. But in one lifetime, he changed from Kshatriya to Brahman in one lifetime. Look, that's the quality of his austerity he performs. Still, he is having difficulty with Sister Muni, cursing each other. Better for us to properly concluded. Therefore, because the Krishna consciousness movement provides opportunity for the human being to get out of this material world simply by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, this movement is the greatest benediction in human society. We are fortunate, we are saved in the hands of Srila Prabhupada. It's our security. So let's remain here. Should not go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. If you go anywhere, you'll be disappointed. You should remain here, chanting Hare Krishna together. Text 8.
Text 8. Harishchandra had no son and was therefore extremely morose. Once, therefore, following the advice of Narada, he took shelter of Varuna and said to him, "My lord, I have no son. Would you kindly give me one?" Text 9. O King Parikshit, Harishchandra begged Varuna, "My lord, the son is gone to me. With that son, I shall perform a sacrifice for your satisfaction." When Harishchandra said this, Varuna replied, "Let it be so." Because of Varuna's benediction, Harishchandra begot a son named Rohita.
Thereafter, when the child was born, Varuna approached Harishchandra and said, "Now you have a son. With this son, you can offer me a
It's a big
sacrifice."
trick.
In answer to this, Harishchandra said, "After 10 days have passed since the animal is birth, the animal became fit to be sacrificed." After 10 days, Varuna came again and said to Harishchandra, "Now you can perform the sacrifice." Harishchandra replied, "When an animal grows teeth, then it becomes pure enough to be sacrificed." When the teeth grow, Varuna came and said to Harishchandra, "Now this animal has grown teeth, and you can perform the sacrifice." Harishchandra replied, "When all its